Hello, welcome to this video tutorial on saving your work and doing a bounce down. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is go to your clips folder. So I'll just show you where that is. So it's this little arrow right at the bottom. And we want to go to select and select audio except whole files. Okay, so unused audio, sorry. Okay, and this selects anything that we've had on here and we've deleted. So all these ones are that beginning section that I chopped. I haven't done any more work on this particular one. So then we go to clear, and we want to delete these permanently. Now, one thing I would recommend before you go hit and delete is make sure you have a backup of this somewhere. So it's just got everything that you originally had, just in case you need it again. So we're going to hit delete on here, and that's deleted all those bits that weren't there anymore. Okay, and then what you want to do to make sure that you're copying the correct file over is go to File, Save Copy In. And on here we leave all the sample rate and bit depth all the same. We go to Audio Files to make sure that it's going to copy these. If you do not tick this, it will just be a nice Pro Tools file. And then we click OK. Give it a name. I recommend your own. So Final Mix. And then save it on the desktop or whatever directory you want to, and hit save. This is just going to take a few minutes to go through, and basically this will give you a folder, and you want to copy that folder onto the desktop. Don't be onto your CD. Don't just copy one of the bits of the file, just copy the whole folder. So I'll just show you when this is done in a second. It's almost all the way through. Okay, so if I just go over to our Finder and to the desktop, this was the folder. So this folder here, if I just open it, it's got our audio files and our session file, and you just want to copy that whole thing onto there. Okay, the next thing that we want to look at is we want to reduce the sample rate and the bit depth. Now, the bit depth is done using something called Dither, which I'm sure you all know about. Is basically a way of converting down to a lower bit depth by adding noise, and by doing this we do get a tiny bit of noise, but it's not usually noticeable at all, but we don't get any clipping, which is the important bit, so we don't get any distortion. Sample rate's a bit different, and the only way we can do that, well, there's a few different ways, is we have to go to File, and we can save a copy in again, which is what I am going to do. Or you can go to Export, and you can export the selected as new WAV files, and you can apply sample rate conversion here. So you say, well, this is what it was, and we're going down to this, and leave this conversion quality to the highest, which is the tweak head. And we'd leave the bit depth the same, and we click OK on here, and this would export all the selected files. You need to select them first. But just for this, I'm happy for you to go to Save Copy In, and lots of people say this does the job just as well, and change the sample rate here to 44.1. The audio files were ticked already, and we're basically doing the same as before. So we just click OK on here. So I'm just going to leave mine as a copy. I'm not going to rename it. And then this will happily go through, and basically it's converting all those to the right sample rate this time. Now there's debate as to whether which method is the best. So feel free to do a bit of reading round on it, but lots of people say that this is fine to do it this way, but use your own judgment, and maybe have a listen to one, have a listen to the other, and see if you can tell whether there's a large difference about it. But I am happy for you to just do it this way. Okay, so when this is done, we want to close down this session that we've been working on, and open up that copy that we just made, with it being 44.1. Note that you do not have to copy this new session that we're just making now onto your DVD. That is not necessary. I just want the original with the right sample rate and bit depth, and then the audio WAV file, which I'll show you in a second how we want to do it. That's almost got through. So we'll go as soon as it's done. Almost. Okay, so we just go to File and close this session. I don't want to save it. And then this is the one I just made. So this is the one that we want to keep. And then this is the one here that I want to open. And if I just quickly go to Setup and Session here, then you can see it now says our sample rate is 44.1. Now to change bit depth, that's a little bit different. We add dither, as I said, so we go to Command equals, and on your master channel in here you would insert dither. Now there's two different methods. There's one that sort of has one algorithm for doing it, or this power dither. So I open this, and basically the options are small. You can choose whether it's 20 or 16 bit, so ours is 16, and you can choose 3 different noise shapings. Basically it gets more complex the number it goes up. So if you were just doing a basic solo, or maybe someone's voice or something like that, this is the least complex, so you choose this. But if you've got more going on, then you want to use number 2, and if you've got lots going on, a big session, lots of stereo complexity, then you want to choose the last one. So we literally just choose that on there, and that's saved onto the track. And when it bounces down, it will go through this process, so it goes from this output. So to bounce down, first of all you need to select the audio. So we can, whoops, not grabbing that one. If I just select this, and then you can grab these. Now you want to obviously put them to the end of your track and the beginning of your track. If you don't do that, then it won't work. And make sure on yours you don't have any muted. In this case, it's fine on mine, but you want to make sure nothing's muted. It's going to the start and the end, and make sure you've got any fade-ins that fit in there. Don't just sort of end it suddenly abruptly. Now for this, it will do it in real time. So for this demonstration, I'm just going to choose a very, very small section so that we're not here forever watching it. Then we go to File and Bounce to Disk. Oops, my mouse will allow me. And in this, you want to choose the output source. So in mine, it's the built-in output, but obviously you need to check with yours. You want it to be a WAV file. The format needs to change. This needs to be interleaved. If you leave it on the multiple mono, it will do 1 channel for left, 1 channel for right. So you want it interleaved. Bit depth 16, sample rate 44.1. And then if you can name it again, your name, WAV mix, something like that, and choose where you want to save it, and just hit bounce. And this will do it in real time, and the audio will start playing when I hit bounce. Okay, so yours will obviously go for the full one, so make sure you've left enough time when you're saving your work. So if I go over to my Finder now, then you can see this is the WAV file that we've just saved. So the 2 things that you need to copy onto your disk are these: your final mix that was at the sample rate of 48 kilohertz and 24-bit, and then your WAV file that has been mixed down to 44.1 and 16-bit. Don't worry about any of the other folders, it's just these 2 things that you need to save. And that's it. Thanks very much.